Hey guys, LJ here from LJ Films and another tutorial. And what I'm going to do today is introduce you a new plugin. The plugin is called AAV Color Lab. If you're a Vegas user like me, and if you wanna do a color corrections on there, which is not for Vegas, you can do it. And it's really a powerful program, and it's free. You can just Google that name, and you'll be able to get that for free. So I'm just gonna bring up a window for color correction. Here it is, video scopes. And I'm just gonna give some room here, like so, and I'm just gonna choose all. Okay, you may be familiar with the waveform and vector scope and everything like that. Just gonna talk about it real quick. So I'm gonna bring the plugin onto my video, and this I find is really useful, and this is a really powerful program. In the first tab, I'm just gonna check that real quick, and you can choose a white balance. So I'm just gonna pick a white balance from here, and that just corrected my video. Very good. Now you can also adjust levels on here, whether you want it crushed or raise up the white or anything like that. So as a guide, I think I don't want to go too black, because it's already black. Maybe bring up the white a little bit, so that white is a perfect white. Good. And also you can mess around with the contrast and also the output range, if you want to make it a little bit look flatter, or put some details on there or whatnot. Okay, that looks good. So here's before and after. As you can see, it looks a lot better. And now the 6 vector, what it does is that, let me show you real quick. First, you can do a hue, saturation, and lightness. So you can basically change a hue to whatever color you like, and by double clicking it defaults it. So what's really cool about this is that it has the individual controls. You can mess around with red and green and blue, etc. So if I'm going to change the hue of red, it only changes red. So if you just want to change color of something, it will change. And you can also make the red really saturated, or make the red black and white, to have that Sin City look, or you can brighten up the red up a little bit. This also helps a lot when color correcting the skin tones as well. And you can also invert the mask, and by inverting it, something that is not white. So if I want to keep the red, I'm gonna desaturate everything, only reds are on the color here. So it's also a cool feature that you can mess around and stuff like that. You can also choose cyan and magenta or anything like that. And yeah, the next thing here is black and white. Just black and white, simple black and white. You always used to it. There are black and white plugin here, but it just only gives you an option of slider of how much black and white you want. But in this case, you can mess around with the settings here, and it's like Photoshop. In Photoshop, you can mess around with the red, yellow, and every different color controls to get the look you want. If you're not satisfied with the look of black and white, what you can start doing is bring the red a little bit. Maybe I'll bring up the red a little bit, and bring the yellow up a bit, bring the green a little down, and bring the cyan a little bit up or down, something like that, until you get satisfied look. So that's another cool thing that's added here. And the next thing is blur. Basically what blur does is it adds a blur basically. I don't know why this is so useful or whatnot. It's not a lens blur, so it's really it's rendering fast. And you can also unlink the blur, so that whether you want a vertical blur or horizontal blur. And you can also choose what kind of blur you want. There's also a chroma blur, which I seem to like a lot. So it just blurs out the color. So chroma means color. I'm not gonna go too detail on there, but basically it blurs out the color. So it's really cool. As you can see, the colors here, the red and blue, try to look at that. It kind of blurs out. So if you want to have those kind of look, you can do that as well. And if you want to have a glow on your video, you can do that as well on here. Bring the amount, bring up the threshold and the whiteness, and you'll have glow on your video. So that's really cool features on here as well. Again, this is free. You can also build your own preset and use it next time. And you can again copy paste this to any video you have. And I'm really loving it. When I always start my video editing, I always set the white balance from here. I don't depend my white balance on the built-in Sony Vegas 10. It's not doing the job really well, but it, while having the white balance on here corrects it really well. And if I want to mess around with the colors a bit more, I'll go to 6 vector, which is really useful. And maybe go to the cyan and desaturate cyan a bit, those kind of cool stuff. So yeah, this was called AAV Color Lab. Make sure to check that out. So yeah, thank you for watching. This was LJ from LJ Films, and I hope to see you guys next time.